So it's middle of summer and I'm sitting here with a hoodie on. Yeah, this is really great. We have a huge problem. And if you've seen the news in the last month or even in the last years, you probably know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you even experienced something like that. And here I'm talking about extreme weather. And extreme weather really occurs because the climate and the system on Earth is really collapsing because of anthropogenic consequences, because of us. And until 2030, it will be the decisive time in which we can turn back the clock and change what we have destroyed until now. 2030 may seem like a really long way to go, but actually we have 2021. So it's like 9 years. I'll repeat that. 9 years. We have 9 years to turn back everything that we've done in the last 50 years. This is nothing compared to the amount of actions that we have to do to save the place that we live on, the planet, right? So there are several problems that are really interrelated, like the hydrological cycle, CO2 emissions, all the nutrients that are in cycle on Earth. Everything is really not in order anymore, and we really have to restore that. And there are also coming other problems like population growth, pressure on housing and health and food production. It just gets too much. And sometimes I really feel hopeless about this and think that we will not manage to do that and that our future is really unsafe on this planet. This is something new for me. I already felt like anxious about the climate several years ago, and actually I didn't really realize that it had a name, like eco-anxiety, and actually this is something that is occurring more and more also with young people and teenagers. This is a state, like you are feeling anxious that nothing will change, and there are several steps and it can get really bad. For a long time I felt hopeless on and off about what we are doing, like my doubts about humanity would be really great, and I just feel sometimes really angry or sometimes really helpless, but sometimes I just really feel like I can do something. But at this time, when I see that there are so many things happening also in my surroundings, like in Switzerland or in Europe, and not only concerning the people that are far, far away, it really brings the problem to a much bigger context. When you see on your own that it's the middle of the summer and it's cold in Switzerland and it rains like it would be the rain season, but it's not, then it really triggers something in me that it shouldn't be like that. And watching all this news and seeing all that doesn't really help, but I don't think that ignoring these occurrences is a good way. So seeing all of that I don't know, that's probably why I don't like to watch the news or read the news on a daily basis, but I don't think that forgetting that is the good option. But even though I don't do that, I still feel hopeless and still feel powerless to not being able to do anything like that has a real impact. And of course, I'm trying to do on a daily basis things that will help the environment, that will help for the people that are born every day, every second, to have a future on this earth. And that's why also I started this channel, also to get to people, to maybe not so much educate, because I'm not educated in that field, but much more to bring awareness of in what state we are now. And that is also where I thought I would be able to do something, because of course it's really, really important to get into discussions, try to convince people in your environment, in your family, with your friends, to really try and think about that. But this is not something that is enough, I guess. As much as it starts with you and me trying to do good every day to reduce our impact on the environment, to reduce our footprint, the use of resources. There are so many institutions governments, corporations involved, in politics in general, that it really seems almost impossible as a single person to change something. This is really something that makes me really, really anxious and really angry at times, because I feel that I can't do anything even though I would like to. But as long as the stakeholders doesn't cooperate with the people that are really in for the change, nothing will change. I couldn't care less, and I could just do as everyone else does and don't care about my plastic use. I couldn't care about buying at fast fashion. I could do all of these things and not care about the environment, because that makes me anxious. That's what makes me sad and angry. But this is not the way that we have to go. This is not the way that I want to go, and I'd rather feel eco-anxious than not do anything. Sometimes, even though I know it's hard, there's the last part in me that really tries to get up every day and do as much good as I can, that really tries to get to people, to film videos like this one and to help other people and encourage them to do something good and to try to implement things that are helping the planet. But also thinking positively about us as consumers is something that helps me to not lose courage. And what I mean about that is, we as consumers, we have much more power than we think we have, and every day and every time we want to buy something or want to consume something, we have the power to change how the corporations, how the institutions, how governments will react to what we do. And that it really includes, for example, our eating habits, what we buy, if we buy more or less, or if we buy packaged or unpackaged, or if we buy fast fashion, or if we buy sustainable fashion or secondhand. All of these things may seem really little, but when everyone does this, it really helps to get a message across to these institutions so they can change, because they know that we want to be different. We want the society to be different. So although there are really moments that are really difficult, I think all of us just has to start like right now to think about the future that we want to have, that next generations want to have and hopefully will have. We should think about this, and if we know what we want to achieve and we have a clear vision about how the future will be, like a beautiful future will be when we do something now, this is a really great start to shape this future. And if we really start to act now and demand change, this will be a future that is beautiful and a future that is in our favor and in the favor of the planet, a future that we can enjoy, hopefully.